Seth got the waves.
Hey, Ross, sauce it up.
Now record.
I switched up. Way too many times that you can't stop. Like get out on mine, yeah, you can't stop. On mine, yeah, you switched up. Way too many times that you can't stop. Like get out on mine, yeah, you can't stop. On mine, yeah, I used to call you baby, now you just another shawty. When I party, what a thotty, you the reason that I wanna squeeze a 40. Yeah, I'm feeling like the house is stepping up. It feels like I ain't got no backup. Feeling like I never find out real love. Maybe I'm just bad for love. I'm so dumb, take me home. Yeah, I ain't got no hope. Hey, switched up. Way too many times, yeah, you been stuck. Like get out my mind, girl, you messed up. On all of my love. Yeah, you switched up. Way too many times, yeah, you been stuck. Like get out my mind, girl, you messed up. On all of my love. Got me thinking fuck love and fuck you too for so long. You hit the truth, I'm so done with being you, so fuck love and fuck you too. Stop. Way too many times that you been stuck. I get out.
Yo, man, it's the Chop It Up podcast, man. It's your boy Hawklyfe, man. I got a good one for you today, man. What you just heard, man, was I'm saying this is my show, Fuck Love, by my special guest. I want to make sure I say the name right,
It's Kngknny, yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Kngknny. Okay. From Missouri, independent artist from Missouri, Kngknny in the building. Man, tell the
What's good,
people,
man?
talk to the people, man. Let them know where you're from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm from a little south of St. Louis.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
just kind of started making music as like at first it was just kind of a fun thing I did with my friends.
Uh-huh.
And then I started taking it seriously after XXXTentacion died. I was a big fan of him.
Okay.
And then when he passed away, I started taking it seriously.
Absolutely. This is gonna be a good interview. We're gonna get into the music. We're gonna get into some other questions, but we're gonna start off. I'm gonna start off by just saying to all the fans out there in YouTube land, you know this our road to 1,000 subs. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As you know, when we hit that 1,000 and Battery of Kingdom get all together, 1,000 big giveaway. So definitely like, comment, subscribe, support the movie. Continue to keep supporting the movie. I love the feedback that we're getting out there and everybody, checking us out. We're gonna get straight into the music, man. We're gonna get into the songs and you kind of just break it down the creative process of making them. We're gonna start with Unhealthy Obsession. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It was good,
The
man.
Zoom call got muted.
All right. You say it, my boy? Mic check, mic check.
All right, I can hear you now.
All right, cool. Tell us what's the creative process behind making Unhealthy Obsession.
That song was kind of that was like the first song where I really decided I was gonna touch on what my emotions really were. Like I wasn't gonna write what I thought people wanted to hear. I wanted to write what was really in my head and what I was really feeling, And then, in my opinion, it's my favorite song I've ever made. So I think it turned out really well.
I think it turned out really well. For those who don't know, that's the single I believe you have out now.
Yeah, I just posted. It dropped at midnight.
Yeah, that dropped at midnight. It's dope. It's eclectic. I love a sound that music is an emotion. It's supposed to invoke a feeling. So anytime I can get that feeling from it, I know it's something special. From listening to your catalog, I know you've been doing it in a minute. And I know how important it is in the underground scene, how important underground music is to you, and also how important it is to not only see you succeed, but others. We'll get into that conversation in a second. But getting more into your music, let's talk about the song we just got finished hearing, F Love or Fuck Love. Tell us about the creative process behind making it.
Yeah, that song was really mostly freestyle. That one was just kind of I was sitting on a Discord VC
Mhm.
with a producer friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
and we were listening to the beat, and then I basically just freestyled the hook in the Discord call, and he was like, "You need to stop what you're doing and record that right now. That's catchy as hell." So
Yeah,
then we went and recorded the whole song in the VC, and then the whole verse was just freestyled, a bunch of different chops together portions.
yeah. Let's talk about Love Hurts featuring, I want to say the name right, Van Shu.
It's Vunshu, I believe is
Van
how you
Shu.
pronounce his name. I don't know, I probably have it wrong too. But yeah, that's that hook. I don't even know where the hook came from, to be honest. I don't really remember much about recording that song, but I
Yeah,
do remember I had it for a while, and then me and Vunshu we were talking about because we did a song together way back,
yeah,
and then we were talking about doing another track together, and I sent him one, and he couldn't he didn't like the beat,
yeah,
so then just sent him that one, and then he sent it back like a day later with his verse. It
yeah,
was just kind of one of them conversations,
yeah.
not really much of a story behind that song.
Yeah, you pretty much do your music organically. You let it just come natural. Yeah, definitely. Um, Danger featuring 1800. I want to say Emrix.
Yeah, that one was just like really that one was I was trying to experiment with more with my voice,
Mhm.
and then the hook would just just whatever, just writing whatever sounded good on the beat. But that song was really just me trying to experiment more with my voice. And then he had hit me up after he found me on SoundCloud and said he wanted to do a song together, so I sent it to him.
Yeah. Uh, not the side note or anything. We'll come back to the music. I love the creative process. I love how organic it is. It's not rushed. You take your time with it. You can clearly see it in your music. Um, Tell us, how would you describe your growth as an artist from when you first started making music to now?
Oh, it's insane. Like my first song ever, I recorded with a PlayStation 3 headset and
Yeah,
my phone
yeah,
on a phone app. And
crazy.
I did like three songs, and then I did like a 15 track album all like
Crazy.
that.
Yeah,
And then it was this last year, right around this same time, I got a computer and a mic, and then just kind of slowly, just through playing with buttons and watching YouTube tutorials, learned how to mix better, learned how to do things. I got more confidence in my voice, started singing more. Really, it just kind of evolved into something that I'm actually proud to listen to and proud to say I made.
absolutely. Um, Tell us about the Secret Music Society.
Yeah, shout out SMS, man. Secret Music Society is a collective I made for a while. It's a funny story behind why SMS became the name. So for a while, I had the idea, and I didn't have any members in it. It was just me, but I had the idea to start a collective, and I was going to call it MTE. Well, right before I started inviting members and making all of our programs and stuff, I Googled MTE, More Than Entertainment, to see if it was trademarked. And turns out it's trademarked by a porn company. So I ended up having to. So I
Yeah,
just. So me and a guy by the name of Lil Nav, who
yeah,
was the first person I recruited. Me and him were talking, and then I just kind of came up with the name SMS, Special Music Society, and then made our logo like an eyeball because I just thought it looked cool and mysterious.
yeah. It's crazy. When you tell a story about the name in the group, it's an early collective, so y'all got a lot of projects coming out. I'm assuming y'all done did a lot
Yeah,
of collaboration.
we got a project called Book One coming out early July.
Mm-hmm. You see, Bookworm.
Book One.
Oh, book one, early July. Y'all be in tune for that, man. 'Cause you got some talented brothers over there. I did reach out to the man for an interview. today. So I guess he's gonna wait till you see this one and then respond back. And I think he's gonna respond back. But definitely tell us about Drop Top.
Oh, that song was like, shoot, dude.
Yeah.
I would say probably, honestly, I'd say that's probably one of my worst songs, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
That one was just kind of, I've always been like a little Tracy, little Peep fan, you know?
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to see, I wanted to, if that was in the middle of me just experimenting and trying to find my sound. So I decided I'd try to make like a song in that kind of style. And that's how it turned out.
Jesus. Okay. That I understand, man. It was really new and impressive.
Right.
That brings me back into my next question because I consider myself a perfectionist when it comes to the music at times. Like I'll create a clear project and feel like I have to go back and do something. Do you consider yourself a perfectionist, or once you fully
Um,
complete a project, are you content?
I would say earlier on, no. Earlier on, I was just excited to release music and I would just release anything that I made.
Yeah.
But now, like just last week, I was looking through my a USB drive that's got all my unreleased songs on it, and it had like 70 something songs. I went and listened to every single one of them like over and over again. And if
Yeah.
I didn't like something about it, I would just delete it. So I went from like 70 songs to now there's only like 28.
Yeah.
So now
Mm.
I'm really specific with what I drop, because if I can't listen to, if I can listen to it over and over and it's a bop to me, then I can post it. But if I don't like my own song, then no one's gonna.
Absolutely. That's true. If you don't think you the best, and anybody else ain't gonna think you the best. It's absolutely true.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, tell us about uh fuck. Well, we did that. I want to shout out the producer on that because he produced a couple on Fuck Love. I want to shout out the producer because he produced a couple other tracks for you also. Yeah, I did a couple collabs. Shout out to Ross.
It's Ross Gasage.
Yeah, Gasage. I think it's his name. Shout out to him. Who would you say was your favorite collab out of the collabs you did, and who would be your dream collab?
Ooh, my favorite collab. Damn, you're making me pick. I would say my favorite collab is on the
Anybody mad now?
ooh, my favorite collab is actually an unreleased track that I got with this guy Duncan. He's part of SMS. We got a song called Wait Your Turn, and it might
Yeah,
be one of the best songs I've ever
I saw
made.
that. Yeah, all right, that's on my
And
list. I saw that. Yeah.
and then I would say my dream collab would be, I'd say either Halsey or 24K Golden.
Mm. Mm. You kept it real underground because I wanted to see. I was interested. If I didn't know if you was gonna say a mainstream person, you was say underground. I was interested. But let's talk about your mantra. I guess it's your mantra. I would say it's your mantra. It's. Let me find it. Hold on a second. It's something that you said that stood out. Music is the love of my life, right? It's
Heck yeah.
and how that came about and how was you inspired to start making music just to begin with?
To begin with, like I said, it started off as just like me and my friends middle school lunch table, just beating on the table and freestyling and stuff, just being goofy.
Yeah.
And then I had started writing music, but I hadn't shown nobody.
Mm.
And then when XXXTentacion died, in like hours before he died, he was on my Instagram live talking about how he wanted to inspire kids to chase their dreams.
Yeah.
So basically, through that, I just decided I was going to start showing some of my friends. And then I still didn't record anything for almost a full another year. And I released my first song on New Year's Eve of 2019.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of, through different people, like listening to different musicians and stuff, just kind of my style, just a mixture between a bunch of different genres, a bunch of different people.
Yeah, absolutely. I get what you're saying. Um Extinction was one of those artists that was once in a generation. I think he could have been a
Oh
great
yeah,
if he was given the chance. Same as Juice World, which I know you also a fan of Juice WRLD. The same with Juice.
yeah. Juice was definitely a huge inspiration in my sound.
Yeah. Uh, I heard his music late. I did hear him on a couple tracks. I did hear him when he did the song Bandit with Young Boy. I did hear Wishing Well and all those posthumous tracks he put out after he passed. Him and X Nation was one of those artists, and Mac Miller are those artists I said I wish I'd heard more of.
Right.
Been able to hit them earlier, sooner in their careers because they was very talented. They had something to say.
Yeah. Juice World. I actually discovered Juice World with his first Lyrical Lemonade video when All Girls Are the Same came out because I have a friend who's always been super into underground music.
Yeah.
XXXTentacion I didn't discover until Question Mark came out. I wish I would have found him sooner
Yeah.
because like I started listening to him right before he died, like a couple months.
Mm, absolutely. Rest in peace to X Nation, rest in peace to Juice WRLD, rest in peace to Mac Miller,
Oh
goddamn
yeah.
Pop Smoke. I mean, the list go on. Hip hop lost so many, but I did that because the way you say that you started making music is the essence of hip hop. Uh, the beatbox. It started with the beatbox. Started with the beating on the table. A lot of people,
Yep.
the actual story of hip hop, everybody know that it started in New York, and most people know the story. One guy had asthma, the other one, uh, I think one of them had asthma, and one of them was just either good at beatbox or had a list for something, and that's how beatboxing came about. That's how and that was the first form of hip hop, and that's how hip hop started. So to actually share that essence, that original essence, out of this, big. What do you want the listeners to take from your music?
Uh, if I could like if I could portray a message on music, I'd like to just portray like that. Really, one thing that I've always had like an issue with, and I know it's something that's kind of been fading out, especially with the younger generations. But like with the whole thing of like it's okay to be sad and talk about that you're sad as a man.
Hmm. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, because men don't talk about how they feel.
Exactly. And like, because when you look at one thing that's always stood out to me is looking at like suicides and how the the biggest age group and gender of suicides is males between 16 and 24. And that's like right at the age like right at the end of puberty. Your emotions are crazy and everyone's too scared to talk to people because they don't want to be labeled as a pussy.
Right.
And they just bottle it up and it doesn't end well.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. If you out there, you going through suicide, it's just know that there's people you can talk to. There's people that's going through the same situation that you're going through, and it's not a situation that you can't bounce back from. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You understand me? So don't look at it as it get. Don't look at it as a trailway when there's only a roadblock. It's not a whole street. It's just a block in the road. It's just that fork in the road.
For sure.
I'm saying like people get to that fork and they get confused. And I understand when you're dealing with emotions, you ain't thinking clearly. And people tend to do things to self-harm and self-loathe. You know what I'm saying? And I understand I've known a lot of people over the years that dealt with it and dealt with depression and dealt with suicide attempts and all these things. That's why I tell people to not allow your circumstances to be your future. Some
Exactly.
of those people that's out there killing themselves is gifted human beings. There's somebody. You are somebody. Know that. Uh, but that was deep what the young brother said. Men do not like to show emotion. Don't hide your pain without giving somebody a conversation. Somebody gonna hear it. They gonna hear
Exactly. Like you don't got to be posting it everywhere. Just because if you one time you ask for help, somebody will be there for you.
it. Absolutely.
I honestly believe that there's no one on the earth who has nobody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's somebody that's gonna open the ear and listen. And if you can't find nobody in your immediate circle, find a stranger. I guarantee there's a
Right.
stranger that'll listen. I
Exactly.
guarantee it. over years, man. You know what I'm saying? I know the world crazy, got people doing crazy stuff in the world, but there's still good people out in the world. You know, so definitely.
It's hard to find the good people because we got things like the news or the media that only wants to focus on the bad, and then everybody be thinking that the world's all terrible.
Oh yeah, the news is just a whole nother planeteer in itself. Man. They just doing the most. They over exaggerate or under exaggerate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what I actually what? Oh, well, you told me what. Never mind. You told me. Uh, there's a lot of talented artists out. What makes you stand out in the crowd?
Like the underground crowd.
Yeah.
Ooh, you gonna make me sound like a jerk and brag about myself. I see.
Yeah. If you think you're the best, you're the best. You know?
Right. Honestly, I think I'm just like trying to like think about some of the underground artists I work with, or a lot of like the people I know.
Yeah.
I say definitely. I like to pride myself on being able to have a wide vocal range, like that, like a lot like Lil Nas X is. Like, he sings deep and then high and all over the place. And I like the fact that I can do that and have on different songs and
Yeah.
it still sound good.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of makes me stand out from a lot of people, at least that I'm friends with.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was a good answer. Tell the people where they can find your music, find you, and find your music.
Yeah, you can find me. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. It's all just Kngknny, Kngknny, one word. And then it's the same thing on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Amazon Music, and iTunes.
Okay, tell us about what I like in at least 80 to 90% of your songs. You allow yourself to be vulnerable because a lot
Yeah,
of it's about real life stuff that you was going through. How important it is for you to be relatable and tell us about the creative process behind emotions.
there's not really much of a creative process behind being on an emotional track. Like I just write whatever I'm feeling. Like if there's something that's bothering me, then I'll put it into words. Like it's just kind of because I feel like at the end of the day, the music is more therapeutic for me. Like even if I released a song right now and it got 5 streams, I'd be okay with it because the fact that 5 people heard what I'm going through in my head makes me
Mhm.
feel better.
Absolutely. I get that. If you could touch five, if you could touch one person doing your job, um, definitely. I like how humble you is. And I wanted to wait to say this because I don't be like getting people to big head. But when I started hearing your music, I said, "Where this kid been at? This kid should be on the radio somewhere because it got something that's different. It got something that's gonna stand out from the crowd." Um, Genuinely, it's just the way you tell a story and the way you choose your beats and your music. That all matters, and you got the complete package. And then on top of that, you want to stay as independent as I could tell because how invested you are into the underground scene. You want to stay fully independent.
Oh yeah.
Not
Like
part it.
there's obviously I'd like to work with some of like my favorite artists who are mainstream.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd ever sign a label, like
yeah,
ever.
yeah. I preach that to a lot of people staying independent. These days, independent is better. Cause these
For sure.
labels is these crazy deals, and I asked
These
that
labels, it's a
question.
jail.
Yeah,
It's a creative jail when you sign to a label.
yeah, absolutely, and I absolutely know your value, know your creative work, and that's usually a question I ask: what's more important, creative control or signing to a big label? And most people say creative control by a mile.
Making the music I want to make is way more important than streams or money.
Yeah, definitely. When I started this, man, it was by accident. 6 months ago, I couldn't have imagined sitting at 605 subscribers right now by accident.
Oh yeah.
So I tell people, don't think your work go in vain. Don't think people not listening, people not seeing what you're doing and not hearing. They're hearing it. If you're independent,
Exactly.
stay
Like if you'd have,
independent. Know your
I know
value.
like 1,500 streams isn't a lot when you
Yeah,
compare to other people. But
yeah,
if you'd have told me when I made Fuck Love that it was gonna hit 1,500 streams in the first week, I'd have called you a liar.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the point what I be trying to tell you. You know, keep doing what you're doing. You know your value. Most importantly, your value. Any artist out there that's trying to get in this game, know your value, know your work. Do you got any advice for any of these young artists that's trying to follow this path musically? Uh, what advice would you have for the artists that's
Oh,
trying to
my
pursue?
bad. Honestly, I say do you because I see a lot of younger artists, especially independent artists, people are just trying to start up, who they try to make music that they think people want to hear. That is the worst thing to do.
Yeah,
Because not only is most of the time it's not going to be your best work, but then you're going to blend in with the rest of the crowd. Like I know, like my music, it's got that sound that a lot of the more mainstream artists have. But I didn't do it because mainstream artists sound like that. I did it because that's what appealed to me, and that's what I feel like my best music is.
mhm. You know, I hope gems. I hope you youngsters understanding that don't make music to the liking of the corporate people. Make music to your ear, cause you are the people. The people are you. So if you
Exactly.
like it, they gonna like it. If you can relate to it, they gonna relate to it. That's the thing about it. That's why I love artists that's vulnerable and a good storyteller. Because I mean, it takes them a long way. Look at artists like Rod Wave and it's so many artists that are great uh, storytellers. Rest in peace to King Vaughn. He was a great storyteller.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He
Nipsey
was
too.
great.
Nipsey is great at
Yeah,
storytelling.
Nipsey, yeah. And Nipsey also was another great storyteller. It's just so many. You got it's so many. J. Cole, these different type of eclectic artists.
I think
It was
Kendrick might be the
yeah.
greatest storyteller in rap.
Wake up, drink, go to sleep, drink, sit down. Like literally, it's a feeling. It's just that emotion. Like when you saying fuck love, I was saying fuck love too. You know what I mean? Maybe it is fuck love today. You know, fuck love. You know, I get it.
Heck yeah.
I done been through heartbreak. I done been through fucked up relationships. I done been through this. I've been there, so I can relate to that. You know, people can relate to the real, the organic, and that allows people to understand that. And what I love about this platform, whether they mainstream or underground, which I do nothing but underground artists, and I support nothing but the independent scene. But what I like about it is it allows you to see the artist as human first. So
Hmm.
if they do become a star, you will realize they are you. Just because it's Lil Yachty, he on a boat, that don't mean he ain't human. So when you see him, a lot of y'all make these mistakes. They be like, I can't. He's fucking human. I mean, what do you expect? And that's the thing.
I see that a lot, like in social media. You'll see like somebody who's famous, and they'll be going through something. Like a good example was I can't think of his name now, but there was I can't think of his name right now. But it was there's some artist who they were posting videos of him on a podcast where he was like real off a bunch of drugs, and he's like sitting there tweaking. Everybody's making memes about it and stuff. It's like, okay, just because he's famous and
Oh, you
stuff
talking
like
about
that, dude needs
Orlando?
help. Somebody needs to help him.
Yeah, you talking about Orlando? From That's So Raven, the guy from That's So Raven, I believe. Orlando, whatever his name is. I know he from That's So Raven. Uh, yeah, they kept saying he was crazy and stuff. He was.
Right, they were like
Mm.
making fun of him on memes and stuff, and it's like I get it that like things are funny. Like I'm not some one of those people who like get offended by jokes, but like when it's somebody like that, like that's a real human being who somebody needs to go help him.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it was a pleasure having you on. Like you said, man. Finding me on all streaming platforms, well, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Uh, I know here a couple places else. Also on Discord. Check out the Discord server if you haven't checked it out. The Secret Music Society. Uh, Officially now partners with Battle Rap Kingdom. That so definitely they you can also check out the link in my server that'll link you over to theirs. If you're ever in the Battle Rap Kingdom server, also check us out on YouTube. It was definitely a pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here, man.
Definitely a dope interview, man. Y'all know, before I get out here, I gotta kick y'all off for the dope freestyle. And if my guest want to join in, he welcome to join in. No beat acapella. Listen, this says chestnut checkers. I told him I can do you one better. I'm the storm, I can survive any weather. If you knew better, you do better. I'm hot like new leather. She said my leather's so soft. I said it costs to be the boss. Floss, I got a roast. She a bad chick, told her she don't want to get a salad toast. Of course I could talk, but I could sit here and chill too. If I'm hungry, give me the meal too. This music give you that feel too. You do slimy, mildew. I don't think you understand. These balls are high demand. They say how you do it. I say I do it for the hood. I don't do it for the gram. Damn.
Oof, cold.
Oh, ice. They'll freestyle.
Whew.
Ice. All right. Yeah, man. You wanna jump in that thing? You can hop in that thing.
Nah, I can't freestyle. Clown. I'm gonna get clowned.
Uh-oh. You know what it is, man. It's the Chop It Up podcast, man. Special guest, thanks to my guest, Kngknny, man. Missouri. You know what I'm
Heck
saying?
yeah.
St. Louis. Now, don't act like St. Louis. You say a couple miles from St. Louis, they always like nail it. Got the St. Louis. Listen, man. And then all his inspirations is from the y'all not understanding. Anyhow, this is the Chop It Up podcast. This your boy Hawklyfe, man. It's been another one, man. I'm excited, man. You know, like I said, follow these guys on all streaming platforms. Chop It Up podcast. Chop it up. Let's talk.